What's up everyone, my name is Nick. Look at this, crazy. This is Global Gibbon.
Today I am in Long San. Long San is a small village on the Baram River in the interior of Sarawak on the island of Borneo here in Malaysia. And it's a little hub for all the other villages to send their kids to school. So there's a big school here that has about 600-700 students. There are about 200 people that live here. And I believe they're of the not the Kayan, but the Kenyah tribe. So we're just gonna have a walk around and we're gonna see what else we can find in this cool little village in the deep, deep jungle. Is an old burial house where they used to bury their chiefs if he would pass away, and this is the grave of the chief, and it's a beautifully designed little house on stilts with really nice carvings or painting on the side of the building. As the village is right on the Baram River, you see a lot of fishing nets and fishing rods at every single house here. So there are two ways to get to this village. Number one is on a boat, which might take you a couple of days. And the other way is by 4x4 on the most beautiful road in Sarawak, in my opinion. And that takes about 6 hours, 7 hours from Miri. So if you want to get here, definitely spend a few days here. So the road to get here is an unpaved road, so you can imagine that when it rains, it gets quite muddy and slippery. Look at how dirty this car is.
Before I continue the video, I want to tell you a little bit about today's sponsor, Movavi. Movavi is a video editing software ideal for YouTube creators. It comes with cool special effects and titles and even some music. It's really easy to use and not complicated like many other softwares. This video was actually created through the Movavi software. If you're interested in Movavi, click the link in the description. I'll even give you a 20% discount. Find the code for this discount in the description as well. Alright, let's get back to the video.
I believe that many decades ago, Long San used to be a longhouse. Nowadays, there are a lot of little houses here and there, and there's only one little longhouse left over, but it's become quite modern. It's all made out of bricks now, so they turned it into a normal terrace house, I guess. So each village in Sarawak, of course, needs a place to celebrate, special occasions and festivals. If you go to any village in Sarawak, any larger village, they will always have a special hall where they can do their celebrations. And this is the day one here in Long San. So I can imagine when it's Gawai Harvest Festival, they'll be coming here and singing songs, dancing, and just having a great time. So back in the day, of course, there were no roads to these areas. All the villagers, if they wanted to buy anything, they had to go with their family in the boat and take maybe 1 or 2 weeks off to go downriver towards Marudi or Miri, where they could buy their sugar, their salt, and all these things. So to go to the supermarket 50 years ago actually meant you had to leave home for about 2 weeks. Can you imagine? When walking through any village in Sarawak, I would say you always hear chickens and roosters, and there's always dogs, and just now we even saw a cute fat little pig that was just roaming around freely, and makes you feel like you're really in the jungle, in the rural areas. And waking up every morning to the rooster is a welcoming sound to me because I love it. Behind me is the local school here in Long San, the SMK Tumengong Datok Lawai Jau. And I believe there are about 600-700 students here on a regular basis. And it is one of the larger schools, primary schools here in this Usun Apau and Baram region. Behind me is the Long San Clinic. So even if you live in the deep jungle, and if you're sick, you can still go to a clinic. There's a doctor here, and he can take care of all your illnesses. However, if you have anything serious, you'll need to take a 4x4 car all the way to Miri, which might take you up to 6-7 hours to get proper treatment or even surgery. And of course, what is a village without a place of worship? So behind me is the St. Paul's Church of Long San. We're leaving Long San and we're gonna have a hike through the jungle to supposedly one of the most beautiful waterfalls here in Sarawak. Alright, we're in the car. We're gonna drive a little bit to starting point of the hike, and the waterfalls river is called the Keluan River. I'm really curious because I've never been there and I've heard really good stories about this waterfall, so let's go and do this. Came up this really steep hill with the 4x4, and it was a pretty cool experience. I was sitting in the back, and I think we're ready to start our hike now to these beautiful Three Sisters Waterfalls. We've set off on the trail towards the waterfall, and it's up, up, up as always. Right. After about 30 minutes on an old logging trail, we've started to descend into the forest. And there's just a small trail here, so we gotta watch out where we walk because it's quite slippery as it's been raining quite a lot the past days. But I can already hear some kind of water, so I think it's not that far, maybe 30 minutes to an hour to reach the beautiful Three Sisters Waterfall. Sound of the waterfall is getting louder and louder, and as I come around the corner, there it is. I can see the top bits of the waterfalls. So let's go down and check them out. Alright, we made it to the base of the trail and we're at the river, and over there we can see one of the Three Sisters Waterfalls.
made it to the Three Sisters Waterfall. This is one of the most beautiful places I've ever been, and it's definitely the most beautiful waterfall that you can swim at here in Malaysia. Wow, crazy, amazing, look at that. Alright, so that's the end of the video. I hope you liked it. If you did, leave a thumbs up. Make sure to subscribe to my channel because I upload videos every single week. And why don't you leave a comment down below. And for now, we'll see you next week. Bye-bye.